All right, so we're diving deep today into the biggest stories that were making waves over on that Vegas Viral News YouTube channel yesterday, March 27th.
Lots to cover.
Yeah, you guys sent these 4 stories our way, and we're going to try to break them down so you can stay in the loop without spending hours watching YouTube, you
Yeah,
know?
makes sense.
We've got that whole Amazon sale thing going on. We've got some political drama with Lee Stefanik, student visas being revoked because of pro-Palestinian protests. And then, of course,
Gotta have baseball.
gotta have some MLB opening day talk.
Love it.
So much going on.
Yeah.
Okay, so first up, that Amazon Big Spring Sale.
Right.
So Vegas Viral News was saying that Wednesday was day 3 of the sale, and that a bunch of the deals were supposedly just as good as what you'd find on Prime Day,
Wow.
which is pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, Prime Day is like the Super Bowl of shopping,
Oh,
practically.
right, exactly.
So if they're really offering those kind of discounts, now it's like Amazon's really trying to shake things up, you know?
Yeah, it's like they're creating a whole new shopping holiday in the spring.
Right.
Makes you wonder if they're trying to get ahead of any potential economic slowdowns or something.
Maybe they're onto something. I mean, if people are tightening their belts a little bit, having more opportunities to snag deals might be a good strategy for them.
And for us,
Exactly.
as the shoppers.
Who doesn't love a good deal?
So Vegas Viral News pointed out over 150 deals in their coverage of the sale.
That's a lot to sift through.
It is, but some of the standouts that they mentioned were a pretty big discount on those Apple AirPods Pro 2, 32% off.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Crest White Strips 31% off. Those are always a popular one.
Oh, yeah, those fly off the shelves.
And then for the techie folks out there, an Anker 10K millifair power bank for under $12.
That's a steal.
It is. And then in the kitchen department, there's an Instant Pot 10QT air fryer for under $100.
I've had my eye on one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hear they're amazing.
Yeah, and they're so versatile. You can cook anything in those things.
That's what I've heard.
And then a Breville Smart Oven air fryer, 20% off that one.
Okay, now you're just making me hungry.
Yay, mate.
We got to wrap this up so I can go do some shopping.
Oh, and for the beauty bucks, they mentioned the COSRX Snail Mucin Essence and the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion.
Okay, see, now I'm adding those to my list too.
Right.
It's like they've got something for everyone.
They really do.
It's smart, though, hitting all those different categories. I mean, it just maximizes their chances of reaching a wider audience.
Totally. And they even reminded viewers to use price tracking tools like Camel, Camel, Camel.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I use that all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's super helpful to see if a price is actually a good deal or if they're just trying to pull a fast one on you.
Right.
Like sometimes they'll inflate the price before a sale and then make it look like you're getting a bigger discount than you actually are.
Oh, wow. That's sneaky.
Yeah, so Camel, Camel, Camel helps you see through all that and make sure you're actually getting the best price.
I need to check that out.
You should. It's a lifesaver, especially during these big sales.
So yeah, if anything we've mentioned piqued your interest, the sale's running till March 31st, so you've still got some time.
Yeah, get on it, people.
Okay, let's shift gears now to a political development that's kind of got people talking.
What's that?
So Elise Stefanik, her Rev.
Sure. Republican Congresswoman, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, Vegas Viral News is saying that President Trump has pulled back her nomination for the UN ambassador position.
Oh, wow. That's unexpected.
I know, right? It seems like the main reason behind it is that the Republican Party's majority in the House is super slim right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Huh.
I mean, every single vote counts in that situation.
Exactly. And apparently they're worried that if Stefanik, gets the UN job and leaves her House seat empty, it could, really mess up their chances of passing any laws.
Yeah, they can't afford to lose even one vote at this point.
Right. And to confirm all this, Senate Foreign Relations Chairman Jim Risch is the one who actually confirmed that the nomination was withdrawn.
So it's definitely for real.
Yeah, and get this, Trump even went on Truth Social and said that, keeping Stefanik in Congress was, super important for his agenda.
So it's all about maintaining control of the House for him.
Seems like it.
But it's interesting, though, right? He's basically saying that keeping that legislative power is more important than having Stefanik in this big, international role.
Yeah, it's like he's prioritizing the domestic agenda over the global stage in a way.
Exactly. And it makes you think about what kind of message that sends to other countries,
Right, how seriously are they going to take the U.S. on the world stage if it seems like internal politics are driving these decisions?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it'll be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Vegas Viral News also mentioned that Stefanik was already getting ready for this UN job. She was even sharing highlights from her time in Congress on social media.
So this must be a pretty big disappointment for her.
I would think so, especially since one of their sources said that this whole thing might leave her without a leadership role in the House as well.
Oh, wow. So like a double blow?
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
It's like a whole political chess game going on behind the scenes, and she's right in the middle of it.
So let's move on to a topic that's a little bit sensitive, but really important to talk about.
What's that?
It's about student visas being revoked for students who were involved in those pro-Palestinian protests on college campuses.
Oh, yeah, I heard something about that.
So Vegas Viral News is reporting that Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced that over 300 foreign student visas have been revoked.
300, that's a huge number.
Yeah, it's a lot. And it seems like this is all part of the Trump administration's catch and revoke initiative.
I vaguely remember hearing about that, but remind me what that is again.
Basically, it's like a program that's designed to identify and deport immigrants who are deemed like a threat to national security or something like that.
So they're using this to target students who are protesting.
Yeah, it seems so. Rubio's argument is that students who are disrupting campus life or supporting groups like Hamas will face consequences.
That's pretty broad, though. Like, what exactly constitutes disrupting campus life?
That's what a lot of people are saying. It's pretty vague.
And what about free speech?
Hmm.
I mean, aren't students allowed to protest?
Well, that's where things get really tricky because, foreign students don't necessarily have the same First Amendment protections as U.S. citizens.
Right, but still, it seems like a slippery slope. If they can revoke visas for protesting, what's next?
Exactly. There are a lot of people who are really concerned about that.
And it's not just about the students themselves. It's about the message this sends to other countries.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, are international students going to be less likely to come to the U.S. to study if they feel like their right to speak out is being stifled?
It could have a chilling effect on academic freedom, for sure.
Vegas Viral News highlighted this one case of a Turkish Fulbright scholar named Rumeysa Öztürk who was studying at Tufts University.
Fulbright scholar, that's a pretty big deal. Those are like prestigious scholarships.
Yeah, and apparently her visa was revoked after she co-authored an article that was critical of Israel.
Wow, so they're literally punishing her for her writing.
That's what it seems like, and her case is really sparking a lot of debate about free speech and academic freedom.
And I bet it's also fueling that whole debate about immigration and the rights of foreign students.
Definitely. These are really complex issues with no easy answers.
So it'll be interesting to see how this all unfolds, and what kind of precedents are set.
All right, let's end on a lighter note, shall we?
Please.
Okay, so baseball season is officially here.
Let's go.
I know, right? Vegas Viral News was all about opening day yesterday. 28 teams playing across 14 games. It's like a national holiday for baseball fans.
Absolutely. And, there's always that feeling of hope on opening day, like anything is possible.
Right. Every team starts with a clean slate.
And this year is especially exciting with all the big moves and the new faces in the league.
So Vegas Viral News is saying that the Dodgers are once again the favorites to win it all.
Not surprising. They've got a stacked team.
Seriously, their roster costs a whopping $320 million.
Wow. That's more than some small country's GDP.
I know, it's crazy. And of course, they've got Shohei Ohtani, even though he's not expected to pitch until May because of that elbow surgery.
Yeah, but even without him pitching, there's still a force to be reckoned with.
They've got so much talent.
And when Ohtani does come back to the mound, it's going to be electric.
The hype is going to be unreal.
It'll be one of the biggest stories of the season, for sure.
Speaking of big stories, Juan Soto is making his debut with the Mets this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got traded in the offseason.
Yeah, and the Mets fans are super excited about it.
I can imagine they haven't won a World Series since '86.
Yeah, they're definitely due for a championship.
But they do have some question marks in their pitching rotation.
Yeah, that seems to be their Achilles heel.
But, hey, if their offense can put up enough runs, maybe they can outslug their opponents.
You never know. That's the beauty of baseball.
And finally, Vegas Viral News touched on Aaron Judge, the reigning AL MVP.
Mr. October.
He had some injuries in spring training, so people are a little worried.
Yeah, but the Yankees are always in contention, so if he can stay healthy, they'll be a team to watch.
Absolutely. He's their leader, so his performance is crucial to their success.
So there you have it, a quick rundown of the top stories from Vegas Viral News.
From shopping sprees to political shakeups to protests and baseball.
It's been quite a ride.
It really makes you think about all the different forces that are shaping our world right now.
So what are some of the biggest takeaways from all this?
Well, for me, it's like the Republican Party's slim majority in the House is going to continue to be a major factor in a lot of decisions.
Yeah, it seems like it's really limiting their options.
And then there's that whole question of free speech on college campuses, especially for international students.
Like, where do you draw the line between acceptable protest and disrupting campus life?
And then, of course, there's baseball, with all its excitement and unpredictability.
So much to look forward to.
Definitely. But the bigger question is like, how do we filter through all this information and decide what's really important?
That's a good point. In today's world, we're bombarded with news from every direction.
So it's up to each of us to figure out what resonates with us and what we want to pay attention to.
That's a good note to end on.
Yeah, think about these stories. Do some more research if you're curious, and decide what matters most to you.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
See you next time.
Bye.